Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching The Gifted Season 2, Episode 5, Aftermath. This 2-week break has been so long. It feels like it's been 2 months. I know I'm probably exaggerating, but this show, I love it so much. I'm so happy it's back, and I don't want to wait another second. That ending of the last episode was so emotional, and I'm terrified for all of these characters. I love them. Let's go.
A lot of rookies
12
want
years
to write the
ago.
detective exam the minute they get a badge.
Jeez.
Taking a one.
I'm just having a drink.
This is harassment. Whoa! What are you doing?
My job. Rep.
How far Jace has fallen. And to think, in a few years your John purifies. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Is she awake now?
We barely made it out of there. The police showed
Yes.
up and they...
I think it's just a mild concussion. Thank God. Andy, I was trying to get him. I tried. He wouldn't listen to me.
Lauren, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
You couldn't have done anything.
No, honey.
Nothing's your fault.
Let me get her.
I love you.
Hey, I need some help.
Oh,
If she's feeling sick,
the emotions are already killing me.
be careful. How did you let Andy get away?
It was chaos, right? We were trying to save
Let.
patients. They were the cops.
Lauren got hurt. We didn't get Andy.
Andy hurt
They
Lauren.
took her. Why?
I thought after the last episode she'd be slightly more concerned about what Andy was becoming and who Andy was, what he was doing, rather than still being like, how dare you not get Andy? Lauren got hurt. Andy hurt Lauren. I'm not even getting into, like, I know that there's a chance he was just doing it so that the processes wouldn't do worse, etc. But
Terrorism. They take hostages.
look, Fox News is on. Church of Human Potential. Oh God.
Keep these people safe.
It's a good idea.
Andy, I know you're scared.
I'm not scared.
I don't think he meant to do that. You know, he's not evil. But he's going towards a point we can't come back from. How do you know he didn't kill her? When you drove off, she wasn't moving on the ground.
She did what she thought she had to do.
I don't think he could have stopped her.
Lost both of them. Lauren could have been.
I mean, that's
The most
true.
important thing is she's okay.
But it was Lauren's choice.
Tell her I'm sorry.
My heart can't take all these
Your
emotions.
mom, and he attacked you.
He believes. I could see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna let anything stop them. Not even me.
Lauren's gonna break my heart. Am I gonna use you to do it? You don't actually have a choice.
That's what we're fighting.
I mean, if after everything she went through, she wants to take some time to rest and relax, that's her choice. She hasn't got that choice right now, has she?
Stop calling her a weapon. I mean, she is a person. You could try treating her like one.
God, the day that Andy speaks the sense in the room, never thought it would come.
I've seen what happens.
You stand the smell down here.
He breathed through his mouth.
Oh, so be Marcos.
It's not. Want something done right? Ask a woman.
Great. How thorax? What's that?
Aaron is just cavity.
John, at this point, just watch. If you keep asking the questions, it's gonna delay everything.
Between the second and the third rib.
John, careful. Oh, God. Oh.
Did you hear his of air?
I can hear a hiss of air over the sizzling flesh. Oh. I'm okay, I heard that.
Talking with the answers.
You need to have someone look at your hands, John. Does he feel guilty that the mission went wrong, so he doesn't want everyone to help him?
At the mental hospital, I thought that.
What? You can redeem yourself.
You don't need
what
to
I said
redeem
earlier.
yourself, John.
That wasn't fair.
No,
This
it wasn't.
isn't your fault.
Dr. Taylor, I think. She was kind.
That's a lead.
Said we didn't-
Is she gonna be a new love
You alright?
interest?
Yeah.
You're still getting over Lorna, it's a bit soon.
Hitler had big dreams too.
Mm-hmm.
He recruited my kid's mom.
Oh,
My poor
okay.
girls with them.
Even in the darkest places.
Some advice Marcos could really do with right now. Well, he's got his darkness in his life.
Mutant savior, then do some freaking saving.
I love Clarice.
Those
You could start by telling her your name.
My sister, she wouldn't listen. But you know that
They didn't believe in hurting innocent people.
New family. You can be
Not
part
like
of
what
that.
the hook's in him deep.
If you want.
And they're gonna brainwash this girl too.
Glad you made it.
Makes me so mad still he's called Jace.
Hey.
One of my favourite characters of all time is called Jace. This guy does not deserve the name.
Listen.
Is this who you want to be?
And what do you mean exactly?
He's the worst possible person to join the Purifiers. Because he'll make them effective. I haven't seen a View in a long time. Seen anything much. I mean, she is trapped. Less trapped. But if she said, oh, actually, I don't want to help you on your mission, I'm going to go now, not so sure that's an option for her.
You look amazing.
And his first date. Not sure Reva would be too fond of having any freedom other than superficial freedom.
So what's up with the eye patch? You get the wrong end of a sharp stick?
What is it?
Purifiers?
Let us in.
You have no authority to do that, Jace Turner. Is this who you want to be?
So angry.
Was.
Yeah.
To do that.
Don't underestimate
I
yourself.
think she could be a very good influence on him.
Hey,
As a friend.
Completely different.
Marcos, please.
It is
Their
different.
house. Their...
So interesting, it's all different shades of grey. Nothing is 100% black and white. Don't do it in public. People are gonna see. People inside can be like, oh, that girl just wrote on the window.
You wanna have some fun?
No. I mean, I get the impulse, but it's not as simple as just using your powers whenever you feel like.
Cops.
She's gonna fit in just fine in the inner circle. They're definitely not the best influence after that place. Kids. I don't know.
Look what I found.
A doctor, wow, in a clinic. Who knew?
Where are the patients? Where is he?
So Jace, who do you think is the real bad guy here? The thugs intimidating innocent people, or the mutants just trying to live their lives?
I'll get it out of him.
His daughter would be so ashamed. John, no. I mean, actually, no, yeah. You can't let that guy just get hurt. I don't know.
If he finds out we're here,
That's very true.
idea what that means.
Just do nothing. Come on.
Isn't
I
it?
just...
It's about all of us, the whole mutant underground. People need us.
need to find that there's some way they can help the guy.
Can you hold out?
Tell him.
She's gonna lie. He's telling her to lie. And then she's gonna tell John, yeah, he'll be fine, then he won't be. He was okay with the lie, because he's very brave. And John, yeah, another thing John's gonna kick himself for later and blame himself for. I hope Lauren and Reed are having a nice father-daughter date, watching Netflix. Like, Jace, how can you let this happen?
That's enough, man. What are you doing?
Finally, like, how many times was it? 6 punches and then you got angry. You're dead.
You knew. You knew he wouldn't make it?
It wasn't all for nothing, John. It wasn't.
It wasn't. Can someone just give these guys an episode where they feel good about themselves and are happy?
You are glorious.
I mean, it's true. But I still do believe in what the underground hopes can happen. And his first kiss. Wonderful. That's not the environment she really could have done with after everything she went through. She did it to a cop car, I'm sure she can do it to this. Using all the kids. I get the spirit of the brands, but I don't agree with them.
I think I may have found something.
Oh,
We're gonna hit
God.
them where they live.
Oh god. Oh god. Does he know where like our mutants live or other mutants? Because stress. So a lot happened in that episode. I like that we saw the repercussions immediately after what happened. I thought it was quite interesting to see where all the characters' heads were at right after. So we had John blaming himself 10 times more than he had been before because he still blamed himself for losing Atlanta and now he blamed himself for that going wrong. Initially, Caitlin still can't shake her view that Andy is a victim, solely a victim in all of this. And the fact that, you know, I just find her phrasing of you let Andy get away and Lauren got hurt, as though those two things weren't linked, as though that wasn't the same incident. Andy got away because he was willing to hurt Lauren. So I think it's interesting that Caitlin, I really thought this episode she was going to have a little bit more of a eye-opened view to how Andy was. I still think that they can want to get him back. I still think they can want to save him from the inner circle. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad motivation, but I think her blind faith that they were just plain and simply going to grab him and he would see him and he'd come back. Reed has grasped that from his conversation with Lauren. Lauren has grasped that from what she had to go through. But Caitlin still seemed to be holding on to this view that Andy has never done anything wrong and that Andy was there and Lauren happened to get hurt. Whereas, obviously, the two things were linked. Now, I realised when I was editing the last reaction, I think part of Andy using his power on them, it was, like Lauren said, 100% because he is a true believer in the Inner Circle's plans, but also because he knew that the four mutants, because of all the sisters there, the Frost sisters and Lorna, if they were brought out to deal with Lauren, they would have absolutely no worries with hurting her worse than he did. But I think I get why he did it. Now, Andy's such a fascinating character to me, which last season he wasn't. He kind of annoyed me for a lot of it. He was a kid, so I wouldn't hold that annoyance against him the same way I would an adult character. But so at the beginning of the episode, he was very, very much struggling with the fact that he had hurt Lauren. And then Lorna was just like, oh, she's fine, she's not dead. They have no way of knowing that Lauren didn't die. Okay, when Andy got into the car and they drove away, Lauren was unmoving on the ground. She didn't wake up until on the way to the clinic. Marcos was moving, Lauren was not moving. So I don't know how she could have been dead for all they knew. So Lorna's whole thing, well, you didn't kill her, it's fine, don't worry about it. Another one, Lorna, so I'm going to get to her in a minute. So Andy began the episode and I was like, oh, there's hope for him. I know that he believes in the inner circle, but I think the moment when he stops caring about hurting the people he cares about is the moment that I feel like all hope is lost. And as much as his actions looked like he'd reached that point, I don't think he has quite crossed that line yet. He still felt terrible that he'd done it, which I think is important for his soul, not to be dramatic. Then we had Rebecca, and obviously, I mean, that place deserved to be taken down. You know, the people in it deserve to go to prison for what they did. What they did is disgusting. It's awful. And so everything Rebecca went through is terrible. And what she needed to really is a place to recover and, you know, not just to be treated like a victim or anything, but a place where she can recover and fully make her own choices. You know, she got taken out there, immediately told, we need you to do this thing, we're going to use you, you're a weapon. Then she had Andy come and be all like, oh, it sucks, you know, it's a bit like high school being stuck in the sun. I'm like, I don't know, Andy, he tried. And it was successful. I think that's probably the worst environment for her in terms of getting her to become who she really is. And, you know, unless she was sent to the mental hospital for actually attacking people, I don't think she was, because, you know, the acid guy seemed like a good person. We know Light's girl, whose name I don't know, did she tell us her name? She also didn't do anything wrong. So I presume that Rebecca was also just a wrongly prosecuted mutant who was sent to that mental institution, that torture facility. What she really needs is a place to recover, to feel safe as she can, and then to choose. And again, I think she has a right to choose to become a terrorist for the Inner Circle, or she has a right to choose something else. I think their attitude towards her was horrible at the beginning, Lorna and the Frost sisters and Reba. Andy at least didn't like that they were just treating her like that, and I think his approach was effective. It was kind of how they won him over, by being all nice and sweet, and we respect you. We treat you like an adult, unlike everyone else. And then his comment about how, oh, it would be great if his family understood, you know, they want him to, they don't get what he's doing. And it's like, oh, Andy, they get why they also want a future for mutants. They also want equality. Well, they want equality, you want more supremacy. They want a world in which mutants feel safe, but they aren't willing to hurt anyone along the way, you know, unless they have to. Now, we have seen them cross that line. I think that is an interesting thing, and that's one of the things I like, that it's not black and white. Even the good characters aren't always perfect. But, you know, Lauren very strongly does not want to hurt innocent people, and he would do it if he had to. I think he's not as far gone as maybe he wants to believe. I think Andy wants to view himself as this, I'm a real tough guy, I'm going to go out there and single, you know, I can fight anyone, kill anyone, I don't care, I'm really tough, I'm not scared anymore. Whereas I think in reality he's not quite that far yet, and I have hope that he can get brought back to his family and to a way of thinking that I think, okay, yeah, you can't go into this fight thinking I will never hurt anybody because, you know, if someone comes to attack me, I'm just going to stand here and not do anything. You can fight back, you can defend yourself, but the Inner Circle's plans, they will kill anyone that gets in their way, and I don't like it. I think if Rebecca had said, actually, you know what, I don't want to be a weapon, thanks for the burger, thanks for the milkshake, I'm just going to go and have a life, they would not have let her go. So she is as much trapped here, it's just a much nicer cage, you know, it's a gilded cage. But she seems quite happy about that, so I don't know how much hope there is for her for the rest of her life being a happy, balanced individual. Now, the woman that Marcos met with the light, she had such a kind of inspiring approach. Like, I don't think I could be that forgiving, and I think for Marcos, in a way, meeting someone that had that attitude, I hope is going to help him, because he is in a dark place. Everything he lost last season, you know, he lost Lorna, and not just that, I think if it was just a heartbreak, I mean, that would hurt. Heartbreaks hurt. It would put him in a dark place for a while, but his baby was taken from him, and as things stand, that is a permanent situation. One that Lorna is kind of like, oh, sucks Marcos, oh well. So I feel so bad for him with that, and I think that some of that hope, some of that optimism and just belief in people that the light, someone whose name I wish I knew, I think that's going to be good for Marcos. The whole scene where they branded them, I get it. I think it's a lovely symbol idea of we are all one. None of us can go back up to the upside up and live normal lives because we've all got something about us that distinguishes ourselves, but I still think making people brand themselves is it's an iffy one. But I get it, and I think I like Erg. I think I just one of those really fascinating things is you've almost got the three perspectives. You've got mutant supremacy, we're going to go after these humans, we're going to win this war, and we're going to take over this place and be the best. Then you've got the underground who want what I think is the best option. Now, maybe it's not realistic, I don't know, but I still think it's something that I believe in. Equality, everyone being one, being able to just live at peace among each other as one. Protecting both sides, protecting humans and protecting mutants. Then you have the other side where Erg wants to just kind of completely just isolate them away from humans, just have nothing to do with humans whatsoever, and kind of he and Reva are almost full circle, but they're still polar opposite ends, because I think Erg is less murdery. So that is really fascinating, and again I think if the underground had the money and the resources of the Inner Circle, their equality plan would just be so much more viable, whereas all the money that Reva has to have fancy facilities and everything, of course they're doing well. Then we have Lorna, who I don't know, I always love her, like she's awesome, she's epic, but she just doesn't care that she's taken everything that was mattered to Marcos from him. She doesn't care that Andy hurt his sister, she doesn't, oh well, never mind. I would love an episode where we got to really delve more into what is going on in her head and where her opinions lie, because I don't quite know what to make of her at the moment. And she's always going to be an amazing character, I'm always going to love her, but she used to be one of my favourites, and is she still? I need to get an episode where I get a sense of what is in Lorna's head. The scene right at the beginning with the Strucker family, Lauren, I can't speak to how much her character means to me. Some of the stuff I went through when I was 17, 18, I kind of feel like, obviously it was nowhere near what Lauren's going through, but some of the way she approaches things I really relate to, and what she's going through and kind of how she's going through it I can relate to, if that makes sense. And I don't know if I guess that's part of why she's so important to me, but she just immediately wanted to reassure her parents that she was fine, that everything's fine. But I mean, Andy attacked her, and he did attack her. He didn't hold back when he attacked her. She wasn't prepared for it. She couldn't defend against it because her little brother just attacked her, and she'd gone into that encounter believing in him and believing that he was still the person that she'd known and that he would come home. And so I think what she's going through, I'm kind of a little annoyed that we didn't see as much of it, but I mean I'm not actually annoyed because it's a big ensemble cast, you can't have every character in every episode, but I think everything she's going through after that, and then saying she was sorry because she failed, she told her parents I'll get Andy and she didn't, like I just feel so awful for her and everything she's going through, and I'm really glad that Reed and Caitlin are now much more switched on to Lauren, and that Lauren is suffering and that Lauren needs them, which I hope continues going forward. And then I'm telling myself that Reed and Lauren, they watched some Netflix, you know, they read some books, they had a nice day, and then they were sad at the end. But they had a nice day in the middle, no one could tell me different. And then we have Caitlin, who, like I touched, her scenes with John, I think she was out of line when she was blaming him and saying, why didn't you bring Andy home? I mean, how the hell could he brought Andy home? But also, I like that she then apologised for it, and also she's someone else that is now acutely aware of what John is going through, and that he's been keeping that to himself until recently, and he is breaking apart because he feels like he's failed. And so I think it's really important that she's also aware of that. I think these characters in the underground, all they have is each other. They are a little family in a sense, a found family, and they need to look out for each other, they need to be there for each other and be aware when they need each other. And I think they were, in the months we didn't watch them, kind of all suffering in silence, all had this mission of, we're going to help you get along the way, we're going to find Andy, we're going to find Lorna, but they were all sort of drifting apart and suffering on their own, whereas now all of their problems are coming to the surface and they are becoming more aware of them, and I hope they're going to be there for each other. So I thought their scenes were really interesting, and the acid guy he was great, you know, he was brave, and everything he must have been through in that place. It's not his fault he secretes acid. You know, he didn't choose that. Mutants don't, oh, I'm manifesting, what power shall I have? I know, it wasn't his fault. I imagine he was also wrongfully, probably, you know, his acid hurt somebody, but it wasn't his fault, so he got locked up. And the moment when he could hear them arguing, and he understood that if John went out there and saved his life, which is the right thing to do, it would threaten everybody. It could hurt the cause, it could hurt just lots more people than him, and he sacrificed himself, and Caitlin knew that, and that was so brave and heartbreaking. And this show really just, the characters are just so good, even characters that have appeared in like 30 seconds, you can really feel for them, and I love it. Then we have Jace Turner, becoming a purifier and standing by while they threaten a woman and then wave a gun at her, standing by while they beat a doctor up, and after he's been hit 10 times, Turner, I go, wait, stop, what are you doing? That's a bit much. Like, where do you draw your line now? You're willing to hurt people to a point. Well, that point's going to keep getting pushed backward, isn't it? I don't like him. He's a fascinating character. Like, I enjoy watching him probably the least out of everybody, but I do enjoy watching him. I think they've shown us his descent, but I don't personally relate to it in any way. It goes against everything I believe in, and I think I'm glad his wife filed for divorce. I hope she can get completely rid of him and have a happy, fulfilling life where she'll always suffer, she'll always have the pain of her child dying, of the fact that, you know, she lost the man she loved because he became someone different. But I hope for her sake she gets to move on and move forward and have a life, because he is choosing hate and to lose everything that he ever was, because he was a cop that felt awful about mistreating mutants, kind of went along with it because his boss told him to, but he felt awful about it, and now he's just happily abusing mutants. So he's an interesting character, and he's I think, sadly realistic character to the real world, but he's a hard one to watch because I just want to scream at him, what are you doing, who are you becoming? And yeah, I'm very scared that he apparently knows where they live. Riva head was off, she was preparing for her new plan, which is not good, that is just terrifying. Involves some kind of an old vault. I wonder what's inside this vault that they're going to need to get into. Yeah, the inner circle's still using children, let's see where that goes. So yeah, this was another strong episode. The characters in this show are just so compelling. They're real. They feel real and fleshed out and human. I know most of them are mutants, but you know what I mean. They're just believable that people would act the way they act if they were put into these situations. No one is black and white, good and bad. No one makes good choices all the time. There are characters I think that are good compared to characters that are bad, but they all have other sides to them, and that's why I love this show. And, you know, whenever I'm screaming at a character like Jace, like Lorna, like Andy, what are you doing? I don't like when I disagree with what they're doing. I get why they're doing it. None of them have yet to make a choice where I think, that came out of nowhere, that was bad characterization. It's brilliant, but it kills me. And oh my god, if he actually knows where they live, I mean, where those little apartments, those little flats, have been a little refuge they've been able to have where they are safe and they have like a semblance of a life. And but then I also don't really want him to have found some other mutant where they're living. Maybe he's found their factory place or their abandoned warehouse. That place, they could not go there anymore, I suppose. Yeah, it was really good. And is it next week yet? Because I need it. And if I find out it's another 2 weeks, I might die. So yeah, this show will kill me. Thank you for watching.